Welcome to Lingua Latina, Chapter 16, Grammatica Latina. Here we have practice with the deponent verbs, which we've seen extensively throughout the chapter. These are passive looking verbs that are translated actively. So I'll start with the translation. Medus laetatur. Medus rejoices. It means the same as gaudet, but it is passive in form, right? So medus rejoices, nor does he fear his master. Veretur being the same as timet, fears. The sailor non proficiscitur does not set out, same as non abit, does not set out. But operitur waits for a favorable wind, ventum secundum, same as expectat. So laetari, vereri, proficisci, and operiri, meaning to rejoice, to fear, to set out, and to wait for, verba deponentia sunt, are deponent verbs. A deponent verb is a verb which always has the form of a passive verb, except for its participle, praeter participium, and it gives the participles look active here. So like laetans, rejoicing, verens, fearing, proficiscens, setting out, and operiens, waiting for. So it has the form of passive verb and is put in the place of an active verb. So again, it's translated actively. Alia exempla, other examples, verborum deponentium, of deponent verbs. Consolari, to console or to comfort. Conari, to try. Intueri, to watch or to notice. Sequi, to follow. Loqui, to speak. Labi, to slip or fall down. Complecti, to embrace. Egredi, to set out. And oriri, to arise. And egredi is like set out from or leave. Medus, here's a little translation using a bunch of different forms of deponents. Medus, setting out from Italy, watches the rising sun. The ship sets out from the port. Other ships follow it. While Lydia speaks, tears slip down from her eyes. Medus embraces her and tries to console her. Okay, in the margin here, we see deponens and deponentes as the meaning deponent. And deponens means literally setting aside, because what these verbs have done, they've set aside their active forms, and yet kept their active meanings. And here are the four conjugations, the passive infinitives. The actives are ara, era, erra, ira. And here we have ari, eri, e, and iri. Ari, eri, e, iri as the passive infinitives. So laetari, to rejoice. Vereri, to fear. Proficisci, to set out. And operiri, to wait for. And the same thing for the passive forms in the third person singular and plural. So like laetatur, he rejoices, and laetantur, they rejoice. Veretur, he fears. Verentur, they fear. Proficiscitur, he sets out. Proficiscuntur, they set out. Operitur, he waits for. Operiuntur, they wait for. And we see egredi, egrediuntur, they set out or they leave. And oriri, oretur, meaning to arise, and he arises. Okay, so let's read just this little part in Latin here, understanding it as Latin. We have medus laetatur, nec dominum veretur, nauta non proficiscitur, sed ventum secundum operitur. Laetari, vereri, proficisci, operiri, verba deponentia sunt. So you should do the grammatica in threes, just like you've done the other sections. Reading it in Latin, translating, and then trying again, understanding as Latin.